And welcome to a brand new Five Heart Podcast live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. I'm your host, Greg Mahochko. Joining me, as always, is the co-host, co-pilot, my very good friend, Ms. Minnie Hunt. Hello, Minnie. How are you doing tonight?
Hi. I am good. It's spring. Spring has sprung.
It is officially
in
spring.
Nebraska. No, spring ball.
Oh, that too.
Yeah.
We're having spring ball this year. Something of spring football.
Something. Yeah.
It's not going to be quite what it was.
They call it Husker Games.
I saw I don't know, maybe we knew this before and I forgot, but the coaches or captains were announced: Will Compton and Jay Foreman. So they're going to draft their teams and get ready to compete.
That actually sounds like fun.
I think those guys are two guys who would like to put the pads back on and run out there themselves, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a feeling too.
But maybe we'll see them in whatever alumni type of activities, that they're planning. So,
yeah.
But happy Thursday, and how are you?
What's going on? Are you winking at me?
No, it's
or are you winking at somebody in chat? What's going on here?
Sometimes, me and these contacts, they don't always, it's like I'm winking the blurry away.
Did I miss an inside joke?
No. I'm not being held here against my will. That's not like a blink twice if we need to call the police or anything like that. It's no, it's me. Me and my contact. I'm getting old, Minnie. I'm just getting old. So.
No, you're not. You got plenty of years left till you're old.
What's the age to be old? Just so we can alienate
90?
half of our audience.
90?
90, okay.
Yeah.
90.
We're all young here.
Okay, well, there you have it. Holgormaniacs. I'm young, you're young, and of course, Minnie's young.
Of course.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm a lot closer to 90 than she is. So, James says 21. James Boardman says 21. After 21, you're considered old. So,
yeah,
we feel a little attacked by that, Mr. Boardman. So.
After 21, everything goes downhill.
I got to think if that's true or not. Looking at my own life, I would say medically, health-wise, yeah.
No. Oh, sorry. I feel like I don't know. For me, it was like 25. I started to feel like my body couldn't adjust to the late nights so easily. And for you, it was 21, huh?
No, I mean, if we're talking about that, if I have the next day to sleep, I can still go till 3, 4 in the morning. The problem is I don't have the ability to just sleep in the next day. So I
those days are over.
Try to go to bed at a reasonable hour, except on Thursday nights when this, what used to be like 45-minute show becomes an hour and 15, becomes a 2 hour and 15-minute show, because I do this all the time at the beginning of the show as I waste time with bullshit.
Yes, you do.
So, listen, James says it's all downhill from there. Fred says my warranty expired at 38. It's been all downhill, but I can still kick the ass of most 21-year-olds. Well.
Oh gosh.
Fred's in a mood. So.
Wow.
Minnie, you
Okay.
You were absolutely right a few moments ago before I derailed the conversation when you said the spring has sprung, Nebraska football. And for our NFL hopefuls, they had a nice pro day. But before we get into all of that, I know it's not in the format, but it ties back into what we were talking about at the end of last week.
Who Who remembers last week?
I do.
No, you don't.
I do.
You never remember.
No, I remember that at the end of this is only part of last week's conversation I remember is our fun little homemade Memorial Stadium feels like what they could look like and some of the fun we had.
That was fun.
And I actually kept my Welcome to the Boneyard one because I don't know who to send it to, but I would love for that to be a doormat at my home.
A bath mat. No, a bath mat.
I feel like that'd be weird.
No, that's what we decided. That's what we decided on. It's going to be a bath mat.
I don't remember the bath mat part. I do remember the doormat.
You don't?
No.
Oh, I do.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I feel like having Welcome to the Boneyard as the bath mat is borderline inappropriate. That would.
Oh, that's right. That one wasn't. It was the one where it was your face.
That's right. Yeah. Welcome to the Boneyard as a bath mat. Sounds like it should be sponsored by Blue Chew.
Mm.
And I don't know if you are aware of this, but Blue Chew is getting more mainstream. I saw it. It was an advertisement. I was trying to watch a program on Peacock. Maybe that's intended, maybe not. I was watching Community on Peacock, and it had a Blue Chew ad. I'd never seen. I've only heard of Blue Chew advertisements on silly podcasts like ours, and unfortunately, they don't pay us. So it's getting out there. The word of Blue Chew is spreading, and yeah, moving on. So anyway, back to James says. See, James says, "Welcome to the Boneyard" is the title of my sex tape. So,
okay.
The Bone Zone. I don't know. Anyway, all of that picking up a little bit of last week's tail end of last week's show. It was revealed earlier this week by our athletic director, Troy Dannon, on X that there's an update coming to Pinnacle Bank Arena for men's and presumably women's basketball. I can't imagine they'd have two different floors. Hold on. What do you think of that, Minnie?
I'm not thrilled.
Why didn't we think to put Herbie Husker at the 50-yard line is what I want to know.
Because that's dumb.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
James says hideous.
It is. I'm with him. 100%. Why didn't they consult us? We have, such great ideas.
First of all, they shouldn't consult me because I think it's awesome. I think
I mean, I like the red all the way around. I do like that.
Come on, you got the ats, the hashtags. But Hoop and Herbie in the middle? Come on now. State outline, Lincoln, marked on there with the star. What's not to like?
Doesn't do it for me. Does not do it at all.
Brian, I'm with you. It is beautiful.
No, it isn't. No. Just an N would have been great. That's all we need. Not a character.
This is gonna be so rocking on the net, Big Ten Network and other televised games. Come on, I want to lay down at midcourt and have my picture taken by a drone with Herbie. This is fantastic.
Okay, I can see that, and I can see how you would like that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Fred says we should do a disorienting design like Oregon, but with corn stalks. That I actually Fred. James says Nebraska stereotype, fat guy with a cowboy hat. Now look, hey, most Nebraskans and Herbie not fat, barrel chested, barrel chested from all the time spent on the farms and the ranches. All right. We're a hardy.
Barrel chested.
Huh?
Barrel chested does not get you. It does not come from all the time spent on a ranch or a farm.
It does if you're drinking beer.
That's what does it.
It's fine.
Let's be clear.
But they can't put a beer at
let's not mislead people.
At mid-court. Couldn't put a beer at mid-court. Roger says put the classic N in the middle.
Yeah. Thank you, Roger. I agree. I concur.
Brian says that
100%.
Herbie should have had the red home uniform on instead of a white. It's the only change he would make.
See? That would have made it maybe better.
Chris Holloman says it's almost as bad as Lil Red. No. Lil Red is a whole new category. Looks like a beer belly. Well, again, you want to be true to Nebraska. You're going to have a beer belly or two. Carl's here for it. Nebraska loves Herbie. Go Big Red. You might be the only person I know, Minnie, who has a Lil Red like stuffed animal.
A baby. Isn't he cute?
Vince says, maybe not wrong, leave it and spend the money on a point guard. Well, we will have Rank Master. He's not a point guard, but we will have him back next year. He's ready to go to work. So, it's looking up. Minnie, is this true? Do you want Dylan's alpaca haircut at half court?
You guys, if you don't stop giving him a hard time about his haircut, he has great hair. I think you're just jealous.
I mean, I don't even know if this is accurate for young people terminology, but I would say that his haircut's pretty mid. Like
That's so not accurate. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
What is popular? Have you seen this? These boys.
I assure you, I've not seen these boys.
Oh, I have. They take these hats, okay? And their hair's all poofy. Oh, great. Get your poofy hair. Where's your poofy hair?
You mean this poofy hair?
Yeah, put that on. Put that on.
Is it sad that I had that so readily available?
Not really. Okay, no, it's backwards. You have to shift it.
Oh, you said put it on. You didn't say put it on the right way. I was going for more poof in the front. All right.
Now grab a hat.
Okay.
And just set it just barely on top.
This is the dumbest look in the world. Like, why?
That's what they wear. This is
what
kids
wear. You know what these kids need? An ass whooping. We need to bring shame back to the younger generations. They need that. We need bullies back in our schools, Minnie. This is
now your hair is doing the same thing mine is. It's like curling around your face.
I think Fred's got a point. This is going to be our 5-heart theater for the night. I mean, I'm putting on costumes. I'm taking direction. This is.
Can you pull the other side around your face to make it more easy?
I don't know if I can anymore.
It's like kind of driving me crazy.
That's worse. Somehow worse.
That's perfect.
Hey, dude.
I can't believe this. Okay, ready?
What's up,
you
man?
Just sit on top of your head like this. This is how you walk around. Like it's actually doing something.
Yeah. What this actually is doing is pissing me off.
I wish you need to take a picture of yourself. This is the best.
Is it because I'm wearing the shirt and everything?
Yeah.
Right.
This is ridiculous. Oh my gosh. This should be your the photo that we use on the thumbnail.
That's a horrible idea. This is we can't. Here's why we can't put that as the thumbnail. People need this they only deserve this on the live. They're like, they can't just see this for free in a picture. You know? Like,
I think it would pique curiosity. I think
it's like if you tell somebody if there's a live event or something, and you say, yeah, we're gonna have a special guest, but you only find out if you're there in the studio. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna put more butts in the seat, or do you put it all, give it all away? Like, we're gonna have so and so. All right,
Greg, we could be sisters.
I feel bad for you. I think that you just insulted yourself saying that.
Except for your facial hair part.
Chris Holloman says, somehow this works for Greg. Thank you. Husker Chuck says, looking at that, I got to ask, what's Greg drinking today? We'll come back to that in a minute. Husker Chuck, hang on. Vince says, next you will have him in yoga pants. No. Ooh. And that's, for all of your benefit. Nobody wants to see that, and I don't want to try that. Fred says, I think Greg's drinking Drano after this. Vince says, Greg's pick for dating apps. No. Greg looks like a confused lesbian. Greg Mahachko, Hawaiian Vice. We're about to see what Greg will do for a Klondike bar. And here's one. I can get behind this one. Carl Pence. Greg, you look like Garth, a.k.a. Dana Carvey from Wayne's World. Thank you.
Wayne's World.
And Highlander says, how long have I been gone? Long
enough. Obviously.
So, yeah. So, Minnie, I'm getting warm. Can I take all this off now?
Okay, but if you guys make fun of Dylan's hair one more time, the wig is coming back.
Why? Why am I being punished for their behavior? And what are we going to do when we make fun of his weight?
No, he looks really good. Really, really good. His face is all thinner. Like, he just looks like great.
I don't think I could play poker with these sunglasses on, Minnie.
Nope. What's the deal with the Hawaiian shirt? Should we let people know what's going on?
It's not too early in the show, do you think?
No, but I got to take this off because I don't like things around my neck.
All right. Before we do that, let's play that game we love to play. What's Greg drinking today? What's Greg drinking today? Whoa. I have a variety, but I'm starting off with a familiar favorite. Yingling in a glass bottle tonight.
Okay. Typical.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay. So, the reason for the Hawaiian shirt. And the zero again, you got to pay extra for that. Coconuts.
Oh, do you have coconuts?
No, I don't have coconuts. Just like I don't have a grass skirt. All right. So, it's the last Thursday of March. And this is our last show of March. We are going to not be doing a show next week. There will be no 5 Heart podcast next Thursday, which, if I'm doing math correctly, is April the 3rd. The reason being, I'll be out of town. And I will be leaving Sunday. I won't be back until, technically, I'll get back to St. Louis Thursday night around 11:30. And by the time I get home It's going to be after midnight. And I'll be wanting to sleep. I've been in airports all day. So no show next week, next Thursday. I will be traveling to let's just say a tropical locale. And that's why we're wearing the tropical shirts tonight.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to a tropical location. I'm just in full support of this
my tropical
vacation. Go have fun. Will you at least have like a pina colada or, dare I say it, sex on the beach? Drink.
I will be drinking beer. Is what I drink. So, I gave blood last Saturday. I think I told you this story in our weekly pre-production meetings. So I gave blood last Saturday. It was for it was in honor of someone I know the family. One of his family members is one of the teachers at my son's school. So I went over there to give blood, and I'm sitting there next to a gentleman for like the input, the data intake portion. And I guess he had marked off that he had, they have the list of countries that, if you visited these in the last 90 days, you can't donate. And so the worker said, "Oh, what countries did you visit?" He says, "Mexico and the Dominican Republic." Spoiler alert, the latter is where I'm going, the DR. So I'm starting to listen. I'm like, "Ooh, what's going on in the Dominican?" And she says, "Oh yeah, those places are malaria areas." So what I've been told to do is to not drink any of the water, not drink a mixed drink or anything that would have ice in it that would melt, even though I'll be on a resort and, it's probably okay. And even when I go to brush my teeth, have like a bottle of water there in the bathroom to brush my teeth with. So
just don't swallow the water. You can use that. Just don't swallow it. Do you swallow when you're brushing your teeth?
No.
Then you're fine.
I don't know. So, yeah, the DR, not that DR Minnie. Says change form. So, all that to say, we haven't taken a Thursday night off. I think the only time we took it Thursday night off was to do a show on Wednesday for right before Thanksgiving. So we haven't taken a week off in a long, long time. So
the last time was at least, let's see here, 16 months ago, 15 months, 16 months ago.
It would have been
because
before you got on. It would have been before.
You used to take nights off, Greg. Don't act like you didn't.
I don't think so. No, you mean me or the show?
You did.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But someone was always here to not say fill in, but the show has ran
Nebraska
consistently.
Football, or should we just go into my surprise?
Oh, let's do your surprise. And then we can be serious.
Okay. Because, we've already been 25 minutes in. Still no Nebraska football.
No, we talked Nebraska basketball. Remember this glorious piece of art?
Yeah. Great. I do remember. Okay. So if you guys were here on Monday night, I had a very special guest from the Voice of College Football his name is Mark Rogers. He wrote this book. This one, Disputed National Champions. The way I found out about this book is John just forwarded me an email and said, "Hey, if you'd like to have this guy on, he just wrote a book." I said, "Okay." So I didn't think much of it, and I reached out to him, and I'm like, "Okay, would you like to come on? I've taken over YouTube for John, and I didn't know anything about the book. I didn't know anything about him. Didn't know who he was." And he was very kind. He said, "Absolutely. When would you like to have me?" So we scheduled it, and we're chatting back and forth, and I know nothing about him, like I said. I ordered his book, and it wasn't until the very last, keep getting out of focus, I'm sorry, the very last email did I know who he was. I'm like, subscribe to your channel. Of course I know who you are, Mark Rogers. Well, he's been doing this shtick here forever and a day. And so I'm at my parents' last night, and I log on to their TV with my YouTube. I had just become a subscriber or no, a member, to his channel. So I say, Alexa, I don't want to say Alexa.
No.
I say it too loud, she'll wake up.
She'll talk.
Open Coronation or YouTube on Coronation or whatever. Coronation on YouTube. And
is that how that works?
Yeah.
She seems so much smarter than Siri.
Oh, she's brilliant, except she's always listening.
Oh.
Okay. Then up on the screen comes an array of videos, some coronation, some not. And I guess because I just recently became a member of the Voice of College Football, guess what happened?
What happened?
Greg, hold on to your hat. You remember how you and I were trying to come up with a way to incorporate Brian Towles? Well, apparently he had done tons of interviews with the Voice of College Football.
I believe that. And
so I reached out to Mark and asked him if we could have access to the videos. And
no way.
He said, you can have whatever you want. And here's just a short 2-minute video. This is about when Bo Pelini got fired. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Maybe half of these huge games and not losing all of them.
Not winning a conference championship since 1999 and not winning a BCS bowl since 1999 and not making the BCS or college football playoffs since 2001 is a really big issue. Okay. It just is. That's 3 head coaches. Solich didn't do it after 2001, after the Colorado debacle. Callahan never got close. Bo, you can argue, was a second away, but never really, never got close after that. That's an issue. You have a top 5 school that makes top 5 revenue, and one of the fan base and the tradition, it needs to happen. I mean, you always have to have trending up. Nebraska the last 2 years have been trending, at best plateau to maybe even down, if you want to say so. 8-1. 8-1 3 weeks ago. We're talking about, going to the Final Four, and would they go to either New Orleans or Pasadena? Now we're talking about going to Nashville to play a mid-level SEC team that we might be favored over. So again, Nebraska has everything they need. Okay. And Nebraska, granted 60-3 will probably never happen again, but if you're expecting 60-3, then, I don't expect 60-3. I expect a conference championship every once in a while, by gosh, though. I think especially in the Big Ten West or leaders or whatever it was called last year, being in the same division as Iowa, Minnesota, Purdue, Illinois, I can't see how Nebraska can't be at the bare bones minimum top 2 every year. I get you down years and such, you might finish third and such, but 3 out of the last 4 years, Nebraska's finished third in their conference. They won, the conference division. They've won one, yeah, but third place is unacceptable, especially that week. If you're battling, I was battling Michigan State, Ohio State, Michigan, and such like that. Okay, I buy that. But again, there has to be an inevitability of you want to get better, you want to make yourself better, you want to look at what's going to make you better. And Nebraska and Bo Pelini just stopped doing that. I never really called for – I guess I called for Bo's head because everybody on the internet told me I called for Bo's head because that's what the internet does. But I wanted to see Bo gut half the staff. I did. I wanted Bo Pelini to work out. But I also knew that if Bo Pelini didn't want to gut anybody on the staff, then Bo's got to go. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe Sean Eicher said, fire some people. He said no, and Sean's says take $7.9 million and go do something else.
Yeah, that's Big B.
So what I loved about this is I'm like, what the heck? Because I remember you and I having a conversation and us talking about how we didn't have any videos of him. And here it is, just like right in my lap. And I thought, this is incredible. And it made me think, wow, what an incredibly small world we live in, but also how cool is it to do something and one day and just not even know kind of that it might affect somebody in a decade. I mean, that was 10 years ago. And I just
we still haven't won a conference championship.
I know. I loved his rant. I loved his rant. I'm like, he's complaining about being third in the conference. Oh.
Thank you, Minnie. Cheers to Brian.
You're welcome.
God dang. You know what?
I loved his rants, so that was pretty good.
It's been 6.5 years. And I know most people, I think, this is just my perspective. If I'm wrong, tell me. Most people in the chat or who are watching this now don't really remember Brian.
Yeah.
Because I think most people came here from YouTube, from John, but Brian was a cornerstone of cornnation.com. Husker Locker before that, and obviously well enough respected, outside of, Nebraska fans that, as you mentioned, he and Mark had several conversations. So, yeah, I love that he just keeps popping up.
It's so neat. It was so random, too. I couldn't believe it. And it was hard for me to keep it a secret. Because as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh, Greg will want to see this. And then I thought, if I show it to Greg, he's going to make me do more work.
How? What could I have possibly done?
I don't know, something. I just knew it would turn into more work for me. So I had to keep it a secret.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that surprise, Minnie. That was fantastic.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right, everybody. That does it for our show this week. We hope you enjoyed a little bit of dress up and a little bit of Brian. And
no, we're not done.
No, we're
not done
only
quite
34.
yet.
We have 2 more hours.
All right, let's talk about Pro Day, because that was a big deal this week.
Pro Day. Professional Day. The day you take your children to work and teach them all about the job you do. It's Bring Your Child to the Office Day. Did you
watch any of the videos or anything? Did you read anything?
No.
Okay. I want to say the first thing that stood out to me was
no Tommy Hill.
No.
Okay.
Dylan Raiola throwing to the wide receivers and running backs. Amazing. He looks so good. He could have been an NFL quarterback.
Well,
unless you knew.
Maybe he can be one day, but right now he's in
Nebraska. He is definitely headed there. But I just love watching him throw. He makes it look so easy.
Is that when we got and I think it was Adam Carricker who shared that it's like, hey, it looks like what's the quarterback's name? Dylan. Looks like Dylan slimmed down a little bit or lost some weight or something like that.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. Let me check. Let me go to the tape. I have it here. I need just a minute. I need just a. Oh, Dylan Raiola looks slimmer. And I jumped. I didn't jump in but I looked in the comments and somebody was talking about knee circumference, and I said that sounds like something we would talk about on the 5 Heart podcast.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah. There was something in there about how his knees look good or something. I don't know.
His legs do look really muscular. His thighs and his knees. Yeah, he looks like he's like. It wasn't me. It was not me.
No. But are you saying that all this added weight that he put on is really just muscle mass in his legs?
No, I'm saying that he lost weight, but that he looks muscular. He looks cut.
Okay.
Yeah, he does. He does. So I think that was number one that stood out to me. Number two, all right, I got to share my screen. Can I share my screen?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to just see. Because I don't have a picture of this. And I think it's really, really important. Let's see. It's on 24/7 Sports.
Hard to find knee pads in the internet.
It's a picture of Ramir Johnson. He looked huge.
I really hope he gets an opportunity. I mean, we talked very highly about him all of his career. Battled injuries, but what a send off we were able to. Not we well, I didn't play in the game, but what a send off he was able to have at the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl, his hometown, having himself quite a game. So happy for that kid, or young man. At this point, I don't care. I'm in my 40s. They're not. I'm gonna call him kid. So happy for him, and I really hope that he has an opportunity at the next level because I think he could surprise some people.
Yeah. Somebody said they go like underground and they go somewhere like almost like a Rocky movie. They go somewhere and they're training and they don't even come out and look at the daylight. They train for 2 months straight.
I could see
and
that.
He looks like that's all he's done. Because I've seen Ramir in person, and he just looks like he has put on almost twice as much muscle.
Which, I mean, that's only going to help him. Hopefully it doesn't slow him down. But no, I'm very excited for him and hope that, again, if I'm being completely realistic with expectations for Ramir, I don't see him being drafted, but hopefully he's enough to, undrafted free agent. Yeah, I'll try not to shorten it next time. It just confuses myself.
Okay.
So.
Well, okay. Then there was MJ Sherman, who of course looks amazing.
We can't really read anything on there, right?
No. Okay, then I'll stop sharing.
I mean, I can't. I gotta make my screen. I gotta go full screen.
No, it's okay. MJ Sherman, he looked really great, and he said that it was a big check the box day. That he's glad it's finally over because he had worked so hard to get to that point.
I think.
Guess who else was there?
Thomas Fidoni.
Well, yeah, of course. Do I want to say? Isaiah Nair.
Okay. Were his stats as impressive as they were at the combine?
I don't know what his stats were, but he looked really good.
Okay.
He looked
look,
really good. And he caught everything.
I mean,
go figure.
But it's easier, I think, to do. And I'm not picking on the kid. It is easier to do when you don't have a defender bearing down on you. When you're not having to battle for the football. I hope I hope it works out for him. It sucks that maybe he's. I guess from the athlete's perspective, why not put on your best, measurables and best performances now in front of all the scouts? It's unfortunate that he didn't get a lot of that on tape in game situations. But I don't wish him, ill or anything like that. I hope that he finds a spot, lands out there, and look, as long as it's not in the AFC North, I hope he's successful. AFC North outside of Pittsburgh.
Okay. Yeah, there's all kinds of opportunities now for these guys that there wasn't just a couple of years ago. So,
yeah. There's always the
Phelan Sanford just signed with somewhere in Canada. He was playing for the Las Vegas Raiders. And then he signed with, forget who. I loved him. He was a great player.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders, Minnie.
Saskatchewan. Roughriders? How could I have forgotten that name?
I mean, it's pretty perfect. If you remember, when he was at Nebraska, he would do that walk, that pregame walk in a cowboy hat. So yeah, it's on brand, I think, for him. So good luck to Phelan Sanford. He looks like he has dead eyes.
What do you mean dead eyes?
Like,
what's that?
It just, granted, I know it's for their team website photo mugshot thing, but he's just like there's no life behind his eyes, and that's okay. He's okay.
Why are you guys doing Fred?
What? I've learned. I think tonight's going to be the night that I'm really going to pre-read Fred's comments before I just splash them up on. So
good. Okay, so who else was there?
Who else was there?
I mean, you don't know because you didn't pay attention. Nash Hutmacher.
Oh, how let me try that again. How did he perform at Pro Day?
Well, let's just say you could tell that he wasn't selected for his running abilities to play at Nebraska. But I think he's going to be great. I mean, I think somebody's going to pick him up. How could they not? I think
there's a world where he gets back up to like his junior year weight before he lost all the weight to wrestle. You get him up to like 285, 300 of good functional strength, and he could really be a demon on the defensive line.
Yep, he could.
Was our guy Ty there?
He must have been, but I didn't see him. Okay. I have no idea. That's a great. Ty was there. Ooh, what's this?
James says Nash is still running the 40. They're using a sundial to time him. I like that.
Okay, but I do want to talk about another former Husker. What are you doing?
I'm trying to figure out if wall to wall is 40 yards. Just see how long it takes me to run it.
Do you have a tape measure?
Yeah, it's upstairs.
11 steps.
11 steps of what?
Upstairs. That's.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, but it's all the way to that part of the house.
All right. Okay. Well, what I wanted to talk about was Thomas Fedoni.
I'm thinking about it, Fred. Let me get one or two more beers in me, and we'll see about running wall to wall. Okay. Yes. People in the comments are talking about Mr. Fedoni.
Yeah. Here's the most surprising thing about him.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
No knee brace.
Interesting.
And
he had the knee brace on at the combine, correct?
I don't remember, but I do know this time watching him, it always scares me when he doesn't have his knee brace on.
He didn't have the knee braces on.
Okay.
At the combine. So sorry. Had to Greggle it real quick.
You don't run the risk of being tackled, So do you really need, I guess because you're cutting, you're doing like that. You might need it, but it scares me that he doesn't have it on.
Well, I think the problem is, just like so many of these drills, etc., are run without pads. It's different when you're in full pads. You get a glimpse, you get, I guess potential, but you start throwing pads on that limit your mobility and helmets that admittedly limit your vision and things like that. We are seeing, what fully robotic Thomas Fedoni is capable of, I suppose, but it's not what fully padded, locked and loaded, suited and booted Thomas Fedoni's showing us. So, but what I'm more curious to know about some of these. So Dustin says we were told a lot that Fedoni was super awesome, just never really saw it. I believe he was the number one tight end in the country when he committed to Nebraska and signed it. He was the number one tight end in that recruiting class. And then, yes.
Go ahead.
I was just going to Fred says that he saw Fedoni's dad went helicopter soccer mom on the internet about Holgorsen.
Okay. Here's how I feel.
Okay.
When you have
because you are a soccer mom.
Well, yeah, and I've had to deal with coaches.
Yeah.
I've had to deal with coaches in soccer and cheer.
Okay.
As a parent. But honestly, I have never not liked a coach other than the cheer coach. That's another story. Thomas Fedoni has had to go through how many coaches? And not to mention his injuries. It's been an uphill battle. He hasn't had consistency in his coaching and his training. And he's spent most of the time trying to heal.
Yeah.
He does have raw talent. And I think an NFL scout will see that. So.
A great man once said that the cream always rises to the top. Oh, yeah.
Who said that?
Randy Macho Man Savage.
Okay. Why'd I ask?
They made a t-shirt out of it, Minnie.
Okay. I believe you. Melissa's here.
Hi, Melissa. Let's see. Fred says injuries and poor scheme hurt him, yes, but Fedoni's dad bitching about him being benched for penalties is weak sauce. And
you guys, you realize that Fedoni's dad used to be here in our chat.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
Are you saying it's possible he still is?
Yeah. Maybe just not commenting. Or maybe he's another name. I'm just saying, let's talk nicely about Fedoni. I
think Brian could be Thomas Fedoni's dad. Fedoni's going to be a stud. He'll go third round or 4. Fans need to back off him. He gave it his all for us.
He did.
Thank you, Thomas Fedoni's father. No, I'm kidding. Here's the thing.
Brian's right.
I do think that, Minnie, what you said is true. You know, it was a bit of a revolving door of coaches. You know, he had a much better quarterback 2 years ago than he had in 2024. You know, so he needed that consistent quarterback play.
Where's your wig?
I didn't make fun of his weight or his hair. I just said that Heinrich Haarberg's better quarterback.
Do you know Heinrich's up to 240 now?
I know, Brian. It was a joke.
He's like kind of getting the barrel body. I saw him at the spring practice. I'm like, gosh, he looks like he put on some weight. Sure enough, they verified today.
I mean, think about this. I'm about 240. I mean, I'm like 243. So basically what you're saying is that Heinrich Haarberger and I, if we were standing here side by side, you couldn't tell us apart. That sounds like what I'm saying.
We're waiting for you to run your 40.
All right, but I got to put my head on backwards for the speed aerodynamics. All right, let's do this. Wait, I'm wearing flip-flops. It's okay. It's okay. Come on, Minnie.
What do you want me to do?
You just tell me when to run.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Are you running?
No, I was running.
Okay, now run. Take your shoes off and run for real.
If I take my shoes off, I might fall. Is this?
No.
Are y'all entertained by this? Like, what the hell am I doing?
We just want to see if there's any speed.
There's no speed. If I was on speed, I would still not have any speed.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Wow. I'd say you're faster than Nash Hutmacher.
Yes. What are we doing with our lives with this show? Brian never made me run or do lunges.
Oh, jeez. Are you okay?
No, you got to talk. I'm out of breath. I just ran from that side of the room to that side of the room.
Oh my gosh, Greg. I honestly don't even know what to do, what to think right now. Oh.
Thanks, James. James Boardman for a $10 super chat says, I've heard of the flash. That was the flush.
It was.
You've earned this.
It was a straight flash right there.
I like that. Thanks, James. That's awfully kind of you. All right, Minnie, you got to talk. I gotta catch.
Okay, when was the last time you ran? I'm just curious.
I always say I run two places. Run to the mailbox, run to the fridge. And in an emergency, I'll run to the bathroom.
So it's been a while.
Yeah, I don't run. I run after my kids.
Are you
I chase them, but
you really are still huffing and puffing?
Yeah, I'm fat. Yes. Next, Cobby Corn merch, oxygen masks. Get your sweet, sweet oxygen masks at cobbycorn.com. You know what? John would probably endorse that.
Okay.
Run to the liquor store. I'll drive there.
So we talked about Fedoni. Did you know Brian Buscini is working on his second master's degree this spring?
No, I didn't know that. What was his first one in?
Really?
Well, I figured you knew.
No. All I know is he's working on the second one.
That's too many masters.
Has more than, I've known people who have like 5.
That's too many masters.
They just are like lifelong
Let me
students.
ask you this. And you don't have to answer this question if you don't want to.
No, I don't have a master's degree.
No. the people you know that have 5 master's degrees,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know how many, if it's 1 or if it's 20, I don't know. Are they actually using any of them for their careers?
No. I
Okay.
mean, yes and
Sounds
no,
like a waste
sort
of money.
I think it's because you do fall in love with like just being a student.
Not me. I fell in love with getting the fuck out of there. Like, I didn't. There's a reason I have a 2-year associate's degree. Me and higher education were not meant to be.
Okay.
Now, that being said, to all of them who want to be lifelong, I have nothing wrong. Being a lifelong learner is great. I learn something new at my job every day.
What'd you learn today?
You know that's it'd be a HIPAA violation for me to say on the show. I learned that when you're meeting with, okay, this isn't HIPAA. There's nothing specific. When you're meeting with a couple that's getting divorced and you're meeting with them separately and they both think different things about the contracts that you have to really delicately tiptoe around,
Oh no.
what type of information you can say to each party. So that's how that's what I did today.
Did you meet with them at the same time? Like,
No, I met with them separately. Met one in the morning and one in the afternoon. So yeah, that was fun.
Yikes. Is that a first for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
To meet with them and who are actively going through it and are not getting along, and they both think different things, and they are not like
Budging? Not budging?
No, they're just not on the same page as far as plans going forward. Like, they both want different things, and you're only gonna make one party happy. But I said, well, I'll help in any way that I can. You two need to figure that out.
Dang.
Or let your lawyers figure that out.
So this is what you learned today.
Yeah, but you always learn something new.
Great knowledge.
Eventually I'll do some continuing education, all that stuff.
Okay. So we finally finished going through a pro day. Do you want to talk about what Matt Rhule said on Tuesday?
I think it'd be great to talk about what Matt Rhule said on Tuesday. Did you know?
Did you watch it?
No. But speaking of Matt Rhule has a daughter.
2.
Okay. But one of them, the younger one, I would assume, plays volleyball and attended a volleyball camp that was also attended by 2 daughters of Corn Nation's very own and our good personal friend, Nate McHugh.
Oh, I did not know that.
So Nate asked Coach Rhule if he'd be so kind to take a picture with his daughters, and he said yes.
Aww.
So it is not my place to share that picture here, but Nate's got a cool little memory. He's like, we're very different people. He's trying to rebuild the Huskers, and I'm just a dad. They're supporting my daughters.
Yeah.
So it's a good time.
Very different. But you know what I am so impressed by is that Matt Rhule does always take time to be with his kids, and he's always talking about his girls. And in fact, on Tuesday, he talked about how important it is to get flag football in colleges. How do you feel about that?
It's fine.
Because his daughters want to be a part of flag football.
That's how I think that's amazing. How you bring about change, how you introduce new ideas is by finding something that you're passionate about and just taking a shot. You know, worst somebody can say is no. But I don't think there's
Here's the only problem I see with it. Okay. We have this revenue sharing business coming up. How is that?
You don't want the flag football girls to get any money. Is that it, Minnie?
No, it's not that. I'm just saying, how is this going to work? How are all these sports going to get money? How are all these? Somebody please answer my questions.
I think,
Please.
and I'm not a revenue sharing expert at all. I'm not an expert at anything, really. But I think
Well,
we're going to see.
We know.
I think what we are going to see is the programs, the athletic programs that generate revenue are going to still make more money than, like there's going to be a very small sliver of the pie that's going to be, carved off and given to women's bowling or something like that. So it's just not a whole lot's going to change, I think.
Okay. Wow. People are really not big on Dylan here. You know what Dylan said? I'm going to skip ahead. Is that okay?
Please.
Sorry. This is like, when asked about what he could do better, he said, obviously, I've looked at all the film. He goes, I look at plays 3-4 times, and he goes, it's painful. He goes, I know I need to be more mobile, and we are definitely making that happen. He goes, I look at these times where I should have ran, and I didn't.
Did he mention anything about the times that he ran and slid 2 yards before the marker?
Stop it. Put on your wig. Go sit in the corner.
No, I can't do that. You know what? I'll say this. The young man, the kid is a student of the game. I think he will come out better in 2025 than he was in 2024. I think he will continue to work, continue to better himself. And, again, I'm never going to not support Dylan. Like, I'm going to make some funny ha-has around here, at least what I consider funny ha-has. But at the end of the day, the 11 guys on the field are Huskers, and they're all going to get my support. So I can still make jokes.
Okay. Well, I can appreciate that. So Rhule also talked about the Husker games, like you mentioned. And he talked about like a high school team coming and playing as well.
Interesting, because they're obviously not in season anyway. A lot of the high school kids who would play football are playing, baseball or track and field.
Idea. It didn't make sense to me. He goes, can I even say this? Has it been announced? Is it official? I don't know. But, he was questioned about Coach Holgorsen and his aggressiveness. And he's like, yeah, he's going to be in charge of the offense, and he definitely takes more risks than I do. So
fair.
I think it'll be good. Don't you? Seems like Matt Rhule's more of a defensive guy anyways.
I think, yeah, because he was a linebacker? And he was linebackers coach.
He started off, he's done it all.
So I think I don't necessarily need him to be quote unquote hands off with the offense, because at the end of the day, it's still his, he's the top guy and he's got to sign off on everything, but let him, kind of be where his comfort level is. You know what I mean? If he trusts Dana Holgorsen and in the small limited sample size that we had last year, I don't think we have any reason. Yeah. And that includes the bowl game. Like we made a change, very late in the year. Like we were 75% done with the season. Like, oh, let's throw a different offensive coordinator in there, you know? And if he's willing to do that and make that change, first of all, what it should tell every other coach on the coaching staff, maybe we haven't addressed this, is like, you better be performing at optimum. Otherwise you could be replaced, you know? Your position.
Oh, just you wait. Craig, you need to listen to these press conferences.
Okay.
They have such good information.
I didn't get to
I'm
finish.
disappointed in you. Yeah, because what you're saying right now pertains to something Coach Holgorsen said. Go ahead, finish.
All right. Long story short, if Rhule's comfortable handing the keys over to Holgorsen and concentrate more on the defense, I'm here for it. Whatever helps us get to the conference championship contention.
I do like that. Now, let's see if I can figure out where you guys went. Are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay. I just can't see you. I don't know what happened. Sometimes it just goes away. My screen. Like literally. I can't see you.
I'm more curious as to what's going on with our viewers tonight.
What?
Our viewership.
What are they doing?
Well, it says
What?
we have 0 viewers on Facebook, which is rare. And we usually have hundreds of viewers on X, and we have 22. So I don't know what's going on there.
Oh my goodness.
Something's wrong with the algorithm. That's all I know.
You know what? Also, people are not getting notifications.
Oh, okay.
I do know that.
Hmm.
All right. Well, I can't see you guys. I don't know what happened to you.
We're all here.
But you can hear me. Oh, there you are. Okay. So Holgorsen said when he took the podium today, he said so much. Do you know? I love Matt Rhule.
I know you love Matt Rhule.
He's a great character.
He's a tremendous person.
He's one of my favorites to play in the 5 Heart Theater. But given the opportunity, I think I would rather play Dana Holgorsen because he talks in a raspy voice. I think he sounds like he's a smoker or that he's like lived a very hard life or that he's been yelling at players his whole entire life. I don't know which.
Might be better there.
But it is so raspy. It's deep and it's raspy. Can you do that?
You mean, can I talk like this?
No. Deeper and raspier. Like
Deeper and raspier. Yeah, I can talk like this. Hey.
Okay.
Hey.
It's not
over
going
here.
that's spooky.
Yes. So basically,
It isn't-
what you're saying is that he sounds like Batman. I am Holgorsen.
kind of. He definitely has a voice that is hard to emulate. But what he said, and this I believe, he's like, I walked to work the other day. It took me 12 minutes and 15 below. But the reason I did it is because our program's all about toughness, and it has to start with the coaches. We can't just say it to the players. We got to. And he's like, he's living it. He's walking to work in 15 below weather.
Wait, you got more of that quote?
No?
Oh, okay.
Why?
I'll say if you had more of the quote, I'd have thrown up the 5 Heart Theater thing just for you.
Okay. I don't want to do it. I would rather you do it because you actually have a better, deeper voice. For some reason. I don't know why. I do have several quotes from him.
I know why.
Why?
Because my balls dropped years ago.
Oh, God.
That's why I have a deeper, raspier voice.
That's disgusting. Why would you even say that?
How do you think it happens? It's
I
like an
don't wanna
overnight
know.
thing. You have daughters, you don't have sons. So it's an overnight thing.
stop. I can't hear this. I can't.
When
Okay.
when a
I
boy becomes a
can't-
man,
No, stop. I can't hear this right now. Can we not go there, please? Okay. We're going to
Okay.
also talk about Jalen Gramstead. Do you know what they nicknamed him?
Jay Graham,
Try again.
High Five City,
No. He happens to be older, so I'm going to give you a hint.
Grandpa,
Close.
Graham Steadpaw. What is going on? What are they? I'm never gonna guess it. Clearly,
You were so close. Granddad.
Granddad. Okay. Been watching you. What? How am I the host of the show and I know literally nothing?
I wonder. I often wonder. And I wonder if this show could continue without me. I think it could. But where it would go, I
It would be a
fear.
lot like this. Carl, you're absolutely right. The show has gone off the rails.
And it would stay there if I wasn't here. Okay. So Granddad is number 2 in the lineup. FYI.
You mean the depth chart?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he said TJ and Marcos, TJ Lateef and Marcos, the guy from Purdue, are going to take a year to learn it. And even Holgorsen said, by the way, Dylan's body looks good. He said it.
I don't think he needs to be saying that about DR.
He did. I
You
don't
say
think
he
it sounded
looks
quite.
fit, he looks healthy.
I don't think it sounded quite like I said it.
Here, wait, let me say it the way you said it. Okay. Dylan's body looked good.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Have you had experience being a cross-dresser? I just need to know.
No,
You sure?
I'm pretty sure.
You would be really good. Oh, Greg, I'm so sorry.
I can 100% say no.
Just tonight.
Dylan's body looks good. Can't determine if Holgo saying it or Minnie saying it like a demented Holgo is weirder. From Fred. And Dustin says, now Greg in a wig, this is what it's all about.
I know. It is. Okay. Carl Pence is not amused with you saying Dylan's body looks good.
I don't
Okay.
think that's what Carl Pence is dumbing down.
Is he down thumbing?
I don't know. Carl, what are you down thumbing, buddy? What's going on in your life? How can we make your day better? How can we entertain and enlighten you on a Thursday night?
Well, I will tell you this. Carter Nelson, Melissa was right. He'll be back in the summer.
I think I said that.
No, Melissa did.
Well, okay, but then I read it when Melissa said it, so I think I get credit too.
You don't get credit because you don't know anything.
That's not true. I said you can't rush
Yeah.
hip injury.
No, after I said that.
No, I said that. Let's go back to the
All
tape.
you do is go around repeating what other people say.
And therefore, I say it. So I'm never wrong.
Okay. Carter Nelson, he's 6'5", 220, and Holgorsen said he is going to get big and he is going to be a good tight end eventually.
Well, at least they're going to move him, realistically where he belongs. Like you said he's 6'5", 220?
Right now. Mm-hmm.
He needs to put on 30 pounds.
6'5".
220.
I know. But he has muscle.
Oh, I'm not saying he doesn't.
Not like Dylan has muscle, but he has muscle. Okay. So what?
Just our friends, this fan family that we have brought together, they're fucking insane. I love them.
Oh my gosh.
But they're insane.
Why? What happened?
Well, Fred says Carl wants to see Greg's drop nuts doing lunges and a 40 at the same time. And Carl says,
you're the one who talked about that. You brought up Blue Chew and something to do with reaching puberty that I don't want to talk about. And now you've ran a 40. This is like extracurricular. You're like looking for extra credit points.
Here's the thing. I'm packing 2 weeks worth of entertainment into one night because we're not going to be here next week. So I want them to come back to this spot here next Thursday and just relive the fun.
It's something.
And perhaps, honest to God, perhaps the biggest lie of the night. Fred says, I was normal before I got here.
Yeah, no. Nobody's believing that. Nobody.
Yeah. Fred says, our tight end is lighter than our quarterback. Think about that.
Well, is he? Is he now? Because Dylan has lost quite a bit of weight, you guys. Dylan said he came back from spring break 8 or 9 pounds lighter. Holgorsen said 5 pounds. I think Dylan would know.
I don't know. I don't know if Dylan can count or read a scale.
Are you freaking kidding me? How could you possibly say that? He's a quarterback. Yes, he can count. That is one of his jobs, to count.
How could I say that, Minnie? Because sometimes I say things just to get the reaction from you. Sometimes I say things just to be funny.
Okay. Well, all I know is Dylan worked his tail off. Literally. He said, I hate it. When people asked him about the weight loss, he's like, it sucks. It's terrible. He goes, you work at it and the weight doesn't come off and you're, a couple weeks in and the weight, it still doesn't budge. And he goes, it takes 6 to 7 weeks of hard work. And he goes, I've been training like a boxer.
Well, he has, there's a biological component that's working against him, Minnie, as you like to say.
I know. He looked, honestly, today, he looked better than he ever has, as far as, because I've seen a lot of Dylan Raiola interviews. He looked better today than he ever has. So I just hope whatever he's doing, it's working.
At the end of the day, that's really all we can ask for.
What?
I was looking.
Are you greggling?
I did a quick greggle because I didn't know what poi was.
Oh.
Do you know what poi
Well,
is?
you're going to the island, so you're going to find out.
I doubt it. I'm going to look for burgers and fried chicken.
I love that. That's what I think of every time you step away from what you're doing and you start greggling.
You start
music.
thinking some Eastern European music.
Like,
Do you know what poi is?
a food, right?
It is a traditional staple food in a Polynesian diet made from taro or taro. Traditional poi is produced by mashing cooked taro on a wooden pounding board with a carved pestle made from basalt, calcite, coral, or wood. Modern methods use an industrial food process to produce large quantities for retail distribution. I have no idea. Poi is sweet and edible, and each day thereafter, the poi loses sweetness and turns sour.
I didn't know
Flavor
that.
changes once the poi has been made.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's going to be in my diet next week.
If you're not even drinking the water, I doubt it.
No, I'm going to be drinking, just not the water, if you know what I mean.
I do. Okay.
Can you read this one by Husker Chuck?
No, I
Why
can't.
not? It's not the worst one. I chose a Husker Chuck
pretty-
one over a Fred Sacco comment. So
It's pretty bad.
read
Come on,
this
you
one.
guys. No, when you guys type out these comments, just think, I may have to read it. Okay,
Why do you think?
be nice.
Like last week when never mind. When we got you, I mean Fred and I got you to say the name.
Okay. Well, that's all I have tonight. All right.
Show over?
Yeah, you're done with your fun.
That's really. I'm double checking. No, we didn't conclude yet.
Go for it.
We have to recap the key themes from Pro Day, Coach Rhule and Coach Holgorsen.
Go ahead. Do you know what those were?
So again, just to recap what's going on this week, is that a Pro Day happened and some players looked great and Nash looked a little slow, but that's okay because he's a defensive lineman. It's more about power and the push. A spring ball here now. We got some great words of encouragement from Coach Rhule and Coach Holgs. All in all, hey, let's not overlook the fact that I don't think you got an opportunity to talk about this with Mark, but Nebraska has 2 national champion wrestlers.
Oh, yeah. Well, that is, yeah. No, I did not. But you know what?
Nobody
Coach
knows brother
Holgorsen,
who.
whenever he was, okay, let me back up. I should have mentioned this. My notes disappeared. I don't know what happened to them. So what happened was our friend, Andy Ketterson, was there. And it's so weird because his voice, when he's asking these questions, sounds so much deeper than what it actually is. That's number 1. But now I know what his voice sounds like. Number 2, he asked a question about the yardage on offense increasing and if Holgorsen expected that to happen. And you know what Holgorsen said? He goes, actually, I don't really pay attention to that. He goes, then he tells a story about how Coach Leach wanted to call a play, and then he said, nah, I'm never going to call that play ever again. And then, because it was like to get more yardage and it didn't work. And then he said, so I really don't concern myself about offensive yards, like what the goal is. He goes, obviously, I know where I kind of need to be. And then at the very end, before he left, he goes, but I am concerned about yards per play. And he walks off. Because if you'll remember correctly, we did have an offensive coordinator who was not concerned about yards per play.
I think you gotta stay on schedule. First down, you gotta get 4 to 5 yards. Third down, you gotta be third. Nebraska struggles on third down, third and long on both sides of the ball, because we struggle to move the sticks, and for whatever reason, when we're on defense, we always seem to give just enough cushion where they're able to hit the marker and stay on the field. So, so I like that. That's going to be the first. Like, yeah, we ought to pay attention to yards per play or whatever that metric was. So,
and also, yes, he was asked about our offensive linemen, the new guys, Spindler and Elijah Pritchett. And he said, they're both big bodies that have experience. And he goes, Rocco is, he's boisterous. He gets out there and he is just making plays. And he goes, and Elijah is just the opposite. Elijah Pritchett. And I know here come the jokes, but he's not very vocal. But that it's good to have them both because we needed them on the offensive line. I knew it. Yeah, here they come. So he did talk about the offensive line, and he talked a lot about just how valuable those 4 games were at the end of the season, so that he wouldn't have to come in and learn all the new play, like how the offense was run, learn players' names necessarily, learn coaches. Like, he got a head start.
No, it's good. And it shows, a certain eagerness to, be fully prepared and ready to go. Because again, these are these new additions to the offensive line. They're going to be called upon right away to step in there and start moving earth. So, yeah, I'm excited that they're here, and hopefully they can, make waves, make noise, be productive, be what we need them to be, which is, again, earth movers. So. The plow.
All right.
Mr. Plow. Minnie, I know you know this, but for the benefit of the good people in the chat,
Yeah.
we have some starred comments.
Okay.
And so we utilize our, contractual obligation to give people as much of their, utilize as much of their time as possible on a Thursday night, not get out of here too early. We're going to go all the way back to 9:02 when Fred Sacco says, what the fuck is this? Office Space but Hawaiian Shirt Thursday? We talked about that. I'm not going to do
you could do it.
I don't know. It would be cultural appropriation if I did it. So I'm just going to stand here and be like, Highlander Gun says, just buy a keg and be done with it, Greg. Guess he's talking about the Yingling. My second beer of the night is the Big Muddy Brewing Winter Ale. I've got just a couple more of those. I'll finish those up before I head out of town. I don't think you can drink winter ale in April. I'm pretty sure it's against the rules.
It's like wearing white after Labor Day. You can't do that either.
That's right. You asked if I was going to be drinking a particular drink on my trip, and while I won't be having one of those drinks, Vince Watson says sand in the crack. I don't think I'll have any of those drinks either.
I think he's talking because of Sex on the Beach. He's taking the drink literal.
Oh.
I can't believe I had to connect those dots for you. Oh my goodness. What is the world coming to?
I thought he was suggesting a new drink. I didn't know that. I don't even know what a sand in the crack drink would be.
I dare you to ask a bartender.
You're like, hey, can I? I'll I got a big mouth. I don't know if you know that or not. And so I'll say it loud enough to make everybody around me feel really awkward. Like, hey, can I get one of those sand in the crack? Cool, thanks. Thanks, Vince. Fred says Greg will also get caught in the rain, but he's not into yoga pants. Caught in the rain, by the way, for all of you out there who are joining us on YouTube. When this show is done, I really encourage you to jump in your YouTube search engine and type in Revis, R-E-V-I-S, space, Caught in the Rain. It's a great band from Southern Illinois. I'm a little biased. I have a very good friend who actually, they're all friends, but the front man, he was at my wedding. I was at his wedding. You know, we're good friends. We're tight. But I love this band. Wear Out There CD, Places for Breathing. And I'm excited.
You know what he's talking about, though?
No.
If you like pina coladas or getting caught in the rain.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Greg, why am I having to explain everything to you? Jeez.
Because I'm not thinking Rupert Holmes. So, sorry. All right, back on topic, or at least on maybe off topic, back to Nebraska. When our friend or Brian was talking about how Solich was done dirty, Carl says Solich was 58-19 in his first 6 years, which is a .753 winning percentage. Osborne was 55-16-2, which is a .753 win percentage. So the thing with Frank Solich had nothing to do with, honestly, his on the field accomplishments or success. It was that Steve Peterson wanted to be a dick and hire his own guy and didn't want to be locked in. Again, this is my opinion. Didn't want to be locked into this deal, this heir apparent situation that Tom Osborne had created with Solich. So I think that's why Frank Solich was let go. Carl also says, I love our Huskers, but we have a lot of work to do to get in the same tier as Ohio State, Oregon, or Penn State.
Yeah.
I think we're doing the work. I'm confident in.
I was in the chat today. I have an axe to grind.
No, you.
I do.
Hit me with it.
I couldn't believe it because I was slamming Iowa a little bit, and my image pops up, and I'm wearing my Husker shirt, so everyone's like, "Oh, she's a Nebraska fan." Spoken like a true, what did they call me? A stuck-up Nebraska fan that looks down at everybody. I don't know, something like that. And I thought, never have I ever even experienced what it's like to be on top. I don't know what it's like to win. So how could anyone call me like I'm one of you guys?
Yeah, you've only known misery.
I've only known misery. I'm like, I was so like, oh, and then another girl said, you don't even know football. Okay. Yeah, I got a lot of shade thrown at me today.
You're here, so either you know football or you don't know football, and you're a glutton for punishment because you volunteer for this and you put up with me every week. So
that's probably it. But I just think there's a lot of Nebraska fans from the 90s that have given, like, maybe us newer fans a bad name.
James Boardman wants to know, in direct response to that, did she just call us stuck up in a roundabout way?
Yes. You elitists. Who do you think you are? Do you realize we have not been on top for ages? I'm kidding.
Well, now we know why our viewers are down so far tonight. Fred says, I've never experienced what it's like to be on top. Good night. Fred also says, oh, this is talking about the revenue sharing. Short answer, they can't possibly distribute it evenly among all sports teams. And again, I think what you'll see is you got 100% of the pie. Football's still going to get the biggest slice of the pie. Like they're not going to take, I don't know how many athletic programs I should. I think it's in the 20s. Like not everybody's going to get 4 to 5%. The more, that a program brings in, I think they're going to get bigger slices of the pie. Mm-hmm. So
yeah.
All right. The Zero told me to stick to modeling. I can do that. I don't know what my other options are, realistically, career-wise.
Running a 40?
Running a 40, no. It's sad when modeling is the better option for me. Melissa, in discussing Dylan Raiola, he is going to be better than last year. I agree. I mean, because you can't get much worse.
Okay, you knock it off.
Well, Carl says, how about not taking 27 sacks in 13 games?
I mean, come on.
And then Carl says, how about not throwing 11 picks, Minnie?
Carl Pence.
One of us had to star those comments, and I can guarantee you who it wasn't. No. He will be better. He will. I'm not even going to include the second half of my original comment. Dylan Raiola will have a better sophomore year than a freshman year. Diamond Dave says a lot of Dylan's INTs were because of terrible receivers, not going after one-on-one balls, tips, sloppy routes, slowing down.
It's true. It's not wrong. And I'm telling you right now, another thing is, I wish I might. Oh, is this the rest of my comments? Okay. Dylan said, okay, sorry. He said, never mind.
While you do that, Fred says balls, tips, sloppy routes. You guys are killing me. And Fred will defend Dylan better than the offensive line. A lot of his poor plays were due to our shit OL. So.
Yeah. Well, also the wide receiving room has changed drastically. That's one of the biggest things that has changed from last season to this season. And Holgorman said, coaching with Schwartz again, it's like second nature. The receivers room looks totally different. And Ja'Cory is Ja'Cory. He's confident and can work with Dylan well. The others will work and have competition. But Dylan has specifically spent time with Dane Key, a lot of time. And they're creating a great bond.
Are they roommates?
I don't think they call that out until July.
We usually don't hear it until the announcers say something. That's how we knew that Tommy Armstrong and Jordan Westerkamp always had great chemistry, because they were roommates.
Okay. But yeah, Dylan said, it's really great to see these guys out there. He goes, there's tons of options for me. So he's really liking what the wide receiver room is looking like.
Right. And honestly, I think it makes the most sense for him to spend a little extra time with like Dane Key and Hardley Gilmore. Guys who were coming in who he didn't have as much time with, last year, obviously. He and Ja'Cory Barney, I feel like, could find themselves or find each other, just there's that comfortability there's the familiarity there. So I think that, you got to spend a little bit extra time with the newbies and get comfortable with them and start understanding, timing and things like that. None of that is a shock to me. So.
Yep. Yeah. They've been working on tempo. They have 3 different installs, and he said that they're like, feels like they're ready to get more advanced plays. So, but that, they just got to keep executing the simple things and not make make the same mistakes that they made before. And they keep working on the 2-minute drill, because he even said there were 5 or 6 games last season that came down to the final 2 minutes.
Yep.
I love how, you can really take apart a season and just analyze everything and just be like, okay, this we have to improve on. Scoring in the red zone.
And I think the pieces are in place, personnel, coaching staff, to make these changes. And that's why I'm confident, in this offseason and coming up in 2025.
Yeah.
We have a few more starred comments.
Okay.
James says, I've heard through back channels that Pritchett is more of a project than the coaches expected.
That's surprising.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't heard that, but we all know I'm in Southern Illinois and I don't watch YouTube. So
Well,
here's an interesting – sorry.
Back channels could be anywhere. Could be like, do you ever get on Reddit or?
I do not get on Reddit
Oh.
at
I
all.
do. Okay.
What's Reddit?
I'll tell you later.
Okay. Melissa has an interesting question here. What's up with Minnie and deep voices?
Nothing. It's just
Is it because
Dana Holgorsen has a really deep voice. It's really raspy.
Dana Holgorsen is Batman?
Huh?
Dana Holgorsen is Batman.
It's not quite like that. No. It's really raspy though.
MK got here late. Did Greg and Minnie give their crown predictions already? Minnie, do you know about the crown?
No.
I think it's called the college basketball crown. It's the first year for it. But
That's right. Yes.
Nebraska
yes.
didn't
Okay.
make Nebraska is not ever going to be in the NIT because they changed the conferences that they're kind of feeding into that. And obviously they didn't make the NCAA tournament. So coming up on Monday, March 31st, 7:30 p.m. Central, Nebraska is going to take on Arizona State in the college basketball crown. And I don't know anything about Arizona State. So I'm curious, Minnie, what is your prediction for Monday night's men's basketball contest? Well, at least, do you think Nebraska will win?
Honestly, I hope so. Does that count?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, good.
I say
I'm
Nebraska.
not holding my breath.
Fred says, that crown tournament, Nebraska will lose their game versus ASU. Easy peasy. I say Nebraska is going to win, but it's going to be by single digits.
Okay.
And then we'll figure out what they're doing next. James says the back channels are not other YouTube channels, but people that he knows and trusts.
Ooh, I want some of those back channels. James,
Minnie
we
wants to
need
be in the room
talk.
when it happens.
I do.
Melissa says that 3 of Arizona State's players are not playing. So,
Oh.
and Fred says, Minnie, don't play cards because you have a tell. Winston Kane making a prediction kind of tells us what you think. So,
Okay. Noted.
There's another one. Okay.
All right, Greg. Well, bon voyage, as
We're not
they
done yet.
say.
We have more starred comments, and we haven't even talked about Nebraska's 2 national champions in wrestling. Let's do that right now. It ended up being the best team in Nebraska wrestling history.
Yeah.
They finished second
Great.
at the tournament in the team standings. They had 2 NCAA champions, Ridge Lovett and Antrell Taylor. And Mark Manning was the NCAA Tournament Coach of the Year.
Of the year. Yep.
So.
Yeah.
And someday we'll have somebody on who knows more about wrestling to talk us through all that. Where's Todd
nice.
when we need him?
Yeah.
All right. Fred says, I love how Minnie started talking about analyzing the season and Greg sucked that beer down like oxygen. Husker Chuck has 2 here. Minnie certainly deserves a week off. She busts her ass.
Yes, I do. I bust my you know what. That's another thing Dylan said today. He doesn't cuss.
Well.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. I mean, you cuss.
No, I don't.
I'm pretty sure you've said some 4-letter words on this show before.
No.
Okay. James Boardman says Nebraska baseball is so bad that Rostowski isn't showing up anymore.
I know, that's true.
All the softball that you need, you can check out Husker Heat on Tuesdays. And Fred doesn't trust a man who doesn't cuss.
Poor Dylan. Gosh, he can't do anything right by you guys.
One question. This is a severe hypothetical. So please approach it with that. Husker Chuck, 939, asked this question, which, knock on wood. Game 1 versus Cincinnati, Huskers pull out a win, but Emmett Johnson and Dylan Raiola are both out for the year. What is our record this season? That's some damn doomsday shit right there, man. Like, what the hell?
How could you even say that? What is wrong with you, Husker Chuck?
Well, first of all, you put Heinrich Harburg back at his rightful place at quarterback.
No, I mean, we have Granddad.
Granddad.
All right. James Boardman says 6-6.
I mean, you lose those 2. Those are weapons. I think if you get through the season 6-6, you count your lucky stars and you go into the bowl game.
Melissa says, don't answer. We will be cursed. That's kind of
you
how
should
I'm
have said
feeling.
that a minute ago, Melissa.
You're like, you can't entertain the thought. Get out of your head. Go, go, go.
Don't blame me. Blame Husker Chuck.
No, you're the one who put it up there and entertained it.
It's not my... Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, is here, and he says for it.
Yeah, not good.
And MK says, HC, a.k.a. Husker Chuck, not head coach, don't speak that kind of shit into existence.
Husker Chuck, just FYI, if anything happens to Dylan or Emmett, we're coming after you.
It is scary. We basically have one quarterback and one. I'm telling you, with Heinrich Harburg, we have one of each. Just put the man back at quarterback where he belongs.
Well, and we also have Quentin Ives.
Like I said,
Anderson
put
did
Heinrich
talk
Harburg
about him.
back in the backfield where he belongs.
Okay.
Fred says, Matney is here. We can start the show now.
Oh, great. Yeah, go back to the beginning. That's the best with Greg.
Do you want to start the show over, Minnie?
No, we're done. I'm saying bon voyage.
All right. Well, with that, I suppose we are done for the night. It feels weird. It's not even 11 o'clock yet.
It is.
Is there any way we can fill 10 minutes? Minnie, there's got to be something else we can talk about for 10 minutes. We got to get to the 2-hour mark. Otherwise, our sponsors will be disappointed.
We had a sponsor, James Portman, $10.
Thank you, James. All right. Is this where are we taking up a collection for 10 more minutes?
No, we are not. No.
Fred says Minnie's been pushing Greg harder than a Husker offensive line thinks he pushed the sled. Yeah, she's trying to get me out the door. She's like, I'm done. Let's go. Call it a night. It's getting late.
We did. We went over everything. All of my notes. All of them.
All the boxes have been checked. And Minnie dismissed the Husker rest. We also had 2 national champions in track and field. I don't have a readily available article to pull that information up. But congratulations to all of our national champions. I feel bad for, neglecting all of you. And yeah.
Okay.
I guess that'll do it.
Yep. Till next time.
That
Greg, I double dog dare you to come back with a tan.
I plan on coming back to. I don't know how long it'll last.
What does the tan look like on you?
It looks like bright red.
We see a difference.
A tan on me looks bright red, and then it peels, and then it looks like this again.
Okay.
So it's
well, enjoy yourself.
I'll do my best.
Enjoy yourself.
Thank you. I will do my best not to burn to a crisp. I've never been that close to the equator before, so it'll be interesting. That'll do it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Nebraska fans of all ages. Again, I encourage you next week, in the off week, come back, rewatch this episode, throw on one of your favorite episodes from the past year or so, and just bask in the fun that is the 5 Heart Podcast. It's always fun with my co-host right here, Minnie Hunt. So thank you, Minnie, and we will see you all in 2 weeks. I'm Greg Mahochko. That's Minnie Hunt. We remind you each and every week, including next week, if you go back and watch one from the archives, that 5 Heart is all the heart you need. Minnie?
I have to throw this comment up because this is how the show's gone. For all you stuck-up Husker fans.
Good Lord.
Go Big Red.
What she said.